He had all those kids. He wasn't training them. He didn't have any time to train those kids. He's working at the steel mill. If he doesn't get Michael, his ass still working at the steel mill. He would have died. He would have died there. His kids would have grown up and done whatever they did. But did any of them on their own, without being in the presence of Michael, without being forced and trained day after day by Joe once he actually got into the gear of what they were doing, but without Michael coming into that household, none of that ever happens. None of that gets set into motion. And this is why the people that are talking about Janet Jackson, this is a clear, very clear, easy statement to understand when you just look at it this way. Now, if my story's true and Michael's not at Jackson, or let's just say Michael's never born into the Jackson house, because you can see the whole timeline revolves around that. So, if Michael doesn't come around, does Janet on her own become a star? Okay? Is she so talented, and would she have been so driven that her talent was so obvious that it would have developed that she definitely would have been a star? Yeah, I doubt it. I did not doubt it. No way. It's impossible. There's no way that path would have ever opened up for her. But Michael, given away as a child, put into this other house, he had the talent. It didn't matter if Joseph started to train him or not. Michael was a singer. So that means Michael was going to be singing all the time. At some point, somebody's going to say, kid, you can sing. Somebody else is going to recognize that talent. You know, it didn't have to be Joe. Michael was going to go on his way. Plus the way within he danced and moved and stuff. Michael, and then he had the inside passion. He ends up being a songwriter, and he's got real artistic desires inside of him. He's something different. Michael Jackson would have, if Joseph does not nurture him, right, nothing whatsoever, I think that Michael Jackson on his own develops and becomes some kind of a musical entertainer on his own. Because it was in him. He's that kind of person. It didn't matter where he was at, what he had to go through. He was going that way. He had the real talent and the desires. He was going to be a freaking artist and an entertainer. Because how could he not be? As soon as he started to sing, people around him, it doesn't have to be his family. He had real talent. Somebody was... That's the thing, even if his parents weren't saying it, somebody was going to tell him, holy shit, did you hear your freaking kid sing? He's freaking phenomenal. He's really, really good. And did you see him dance? The little guy could dance too. Real talent. Real talent. Something that's totally different. When you see real talent, it's like, woo, that's talent. That's real talent. Michael was the one with the talent. Michael at least would have had a chance of becoming a star and entertainer with no assistance from anybody. Once he just would have went through his natural path, he would have met kids in school who actually had other talent. He would have met musicians. This is how it would have happened too. And then he would have said, oh, I could sing, because this is back in the days, that's what they would have been doing. All those kids, they would have been, everybody would have been playing music, trying to be in a band. And so Michael would have sing. Somebody would have brought him in and said, you could sing, come in my band, come with me, let me work you. It just would have happened with him because he's real talent. Would that have happened with Janet? No. And she's the best of them. I was looking today at songs, and I wanted to see if Janet was actually writing any of her songs. And so her producing team is Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam. And so she was with was she with Epic? But the record company that she was with, she had those producers, right? They write all of her stuff. Those guys basically work for her. They basically and there's a thing called New Jack Swing, okay? Those guys, the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they invented New Jack Swing. That style of music, it's not Janet Jackson. She's not doing any of that stuff. She's not making the music. She's not doing any of that stuff. But what happened is she actually got these guys to work with her because by that time she had a name and she's good looking. So these guys, they don't want to sell their songs. They need a young, hot little ass. That's what they're selling, hot little ass. That's what Janet Jackson was. But luckily, she was backed by real serious writers, producers, good ones. Freaking, they invented a whole style of music, New Jack Swing. and they're the ones. Then I looked on her things when she moved to Virgin Records. They came with her on her first album of her first Virgin album release. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are on all of her songs. They wrote and freaking produced. But Janet started having a credit on there. They put her name as a songwriter and producer a lot of times. So she strong-armed them to get that credit so she could get more money because she's like in the process of it. And then I was trying to find one of the songs that she actually wrote, and I found one. I'd have to go back and look what it was, but it was really, really dumb. I listened to the words of it, and it's like, that's what I'm telling you. Listen to the words. When I have to go find that song again, it's horrible. She woke up on a Friday, and she went doing something, and then it was terrible. It was horrible. I don't know. It was horrible. But then you could tell it's like, oh, see, this is her. Now, and at that time, she had already had her long career, been in the Jacksons. She's a huge star. She had already had big records. But then when she tries to write a song, oh my God, it's basic and lame and simpleton as fuck. She doesn't even have the idea of the concept of how to fucking write a song. It was so bad. And it was proven that she had no talent by that song. So it's just like, I could go rambling on and on and on until you people start actually caring. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that Michael Jackson died as a drug addict. Nobody cares that Michael Jackson's being blasted as a pedophile right now. They don't care. And they sit there and call themselves fans and attack me when I'm the person that actually explains who he frickin' was. You know, I explained how he became a drug addict because he had real pains from being abandoned as a child. Just try and imagine Michael Jackson, his actual life. That this kid is raised by Joe the way he was, okay? He thinks he's a Jackson. Joe's training him hard. But then as that development happens, what he finds out that is Joe's using him and scamming him to get back to the people that abandoned him originally. Then they come back and say to reclaim him. Diana comes back to reclaim him, gives him all the love and stuff, but then she abandons him again. Says, oh, we don't get to live with me. You don't know, you're a Jackson officially now. You're always going to be a Jackson. And then he had to stay with that. He had to live with that stuff. I mean, that's who Michael Jackson was. That's the actual guy, the actual human being, his actual life experience. And then look at through all that stuff, all the entertainment he provided, all the things he tried to do good, which I think it turned nasty, and then the whole nature of, and that became a very evil in its nature. I don't like all that. I think it turned into very nasty. But he tried. It wasn't that he was trying to do bad. I don't believe that whatsoever. I do believe he was trying to do good, even within the things that. But he was wrapped up in a lie. He's a lie. Michael Jackson's whole life is a lie. He never knew himself. And so to trust his opinions of his views of the world and his experiences of trying to tell you how to be in the world, parts of it are good, but it's like 50-50. Half of it's good, half of it's not good. If you're not qualified to be able to judge which half is good and which is not, it's better for you than just to discard it all. And as far as that goes, you just need to not pay attention to whatsoever because there's nothing there for you. You're not qualified to. So the people, when you're like the MJ Innocent people saying Michael's an angel, they're flat out not qualified. Not one of them. There's not one real Michael Jackson fan that would ever say the phrase MJ Innocent. Innocent of what? Innocent of what are you talking about? What innocence are we talking about? And we know, okay, they're talking about the pedophile allegations, okay? But he's not innocent. Michael Jackson spent time with those kids alone in his bed, and he touched on them, and he told him he loved them and carried him, and all kinds of just that alone. That alone is a form of a child abuse. There was things that he was doing he should not have been doing. That alone. But it's not sex. He's not freaking having sex with these damn kids. But he's not innocent. Look at all of the times, like the one video, the whole goddamn video with the Bashir thing. Michael's on drugs, like through that whole thing, look at his eyes. They're dirty. His eyes are, they're dirty. You could tell there's clean pupils are clean and white, and the person's just aware. And you can tell when they're speaking, it's real clear. And you can tell in that Bashir thing, his pupils they're dirty. You could see them, they're dirty. And he's on drugs for most of that whole thing. So the reality of the fact that he's taking drugs while that kid's leaning on him and saying he loves him, and Michael's justifying, saying, no, the most loving thing you can do is to share a bed with your kid. The kid is just like, it was so weird and stuff, and it's like, there's no Michael innocent on that. He freaking did it. Proven. Done. I mean, so the MJ innocent people really bug me. They're all fake fans, and they're supposed to be the voice, right? So they're completely useless. They're useless. Like I said, anybody that puts MJ innocent, you're not a Michael Jackson fan. You're a Michael Jackson thief. What you're doing is you're stealing from him. You like his image, and you then you like to put yourself next to him and then portray yourself to the world as you're standing next to the image of him, because then you think it portrays you in a certain light. It makes you think it makes you more that, oh, I know how good he is. I really see. I'm going to be like him. You think it's all about you. You don't care about him. You just care about what it does for you, because you're all fake fans. All you people are losers. None of you care about the fact that Michael had died a drug addict. What caused this? And then you people are so stupid to start yelling, oh, Sony killed him. Sure. Sure, they killed him. They're in business with the guy, and they're just going to kill him? Oh, my God. It's just so stupid. Well, the Sony people, business people, they ain't got time to be working shit like that. It's like, okay, so you're telling me Sony's got a secret group of assassins that work for him? Yeah, I'd like to hear those stories of the assassins. Yeah, I was an assassin. I worked for Sony. Yeah, I was part of the execution of Michael Jackson. See, it's funny how, like, stories that you could create, because, see, that'd be a funny story. If somebody wanted to do a funny little story and a skit thing, that would be funny. You would do a skit as if you were a paid assassin that worked for Sony, and that it had sent you after to go get Michael. That'd be hilarious and shit, you know? I could write that stuff. So I could make up stories. I could do stuff like that and silly, but that's not what's going on with my Michael Jackson story whatsoever. That story came to me. I had the first and original. That's the thing with me. I say I was the person who saw it because I am special. The person that I am. If any of you people, it's hilarious. If any of you people would talk to any of my friends, like before I started doing the Michael Jackson stuff, right? And if you would talk to any of my friends, and then when you see, like, that I got this, every single one of them, if you say, oh, you know John, and say, do you know that he had this Michael Jackson discovery, all this stuff? Every single one of them would say, that's him. That's exactly who he's always was. That's what they would tell you. That's who that guy was. He was like that always. He was interested in things like that. He looked at things differently, and he found stuff always. That's the way I always have been like that. But the Michael Jackson story, what I'm saying is, that's the guy I was. And that's why when it came to me, I was able to then have the actual thought. I saw it, and instead of just brushing it off when I saw Michael and Diana morphing, when I saw that happening, I didn't just look at it and oh, that's cool, or oh boy, I got a good buzz right now. Oh yeah, you know, I could have done any little thing like that and brushed it off. But no, the person I was actually looked at it and said, holy shit, I wonder if it's possible if Diana Ross can be Michael Jackson's mother, because they freaking look identical right now, and I know that they have a big history. So that's what I said. I actually had the thought, is that what it is? And that's how everything started. That's how the whole thing started. Nothing is me trying to create any freaking story. I had that thought, and I went searching, and within the searching, I've now become an expert, and I can freaking tell you everything about everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.